So I'm sat in what is probably the most important office in the entire city. I'm in the Mayor's office in the Cunard building, and I'm with Mayor Joanne Anderson. How's it going for you? Because we're approaching 12 months now since you took this office.
I can describe it as wild. It has been wild. My inbox is certainly wild in terms of, that's the only way I can describe it. But yeah, highs and lows as we often experience in our city. But yeah, a productive year, I can say that at least.
What was your perception it would be like, and has it met that perception?
Well, everyone talks about this job as, you know, a very powerful position, but no one really wants it, you know, in terms of with great power comes great responsibility. So I think I knew what I was in for. Certainly my eyes were open. I knew the issues we had. Obviously I was a councillor for 2 years, but also the issues we faced within the city. So I've had no major surprises in that sense.
Do you wake up every morning and think, I can't wait to get to work, I can't wait to see what challenges I'm going to face today?
Some days, obviously, some days are better than others. The job is really diverse, and I absolutely love that. You know, one day I'm talking to green investors who are global companies. The next day, you know, I'm in a community centre or with a forest school or with young children. The diversity of the job is wonderful, to lead your city, to be in a position to contribute, to give that to your city. So that's what I enjoy about it.
But what's it like when you're out and about? Because obviously everyone knows who you are now. They see you on newspapers, on social media and stuff. Obviously you get a positive reaction, but do you kind of think, I can't go to the pub anymore, I can't do what I used to do when you take this position?
I'm doing everything I used to do. The truth is I don't do that much. Okay. So I've always been a bit of a workaholic. So my idea of chilling out is at home or in my friend's house. So yeah, I go to Home and Bargain, I go to the Tesco, I just do everything I always done, and people on the whole are generally positive.
And she still says Home and Bargain as
yeah,
well, which I like. Let's talk about the challenges, because the city has faced a number of difficulties, some really sad stories, the killing of Ava White, for instance, the Liverpool women's bomb. What have been the biggest challenges for you personally?
The day that Ava White died was was murdered, was my hardest day. It was you know, also about me, but obviously waking up and that happening in your city, it was really devastating. In terms of some of the challenges, there've been more to do with what we've got challenged internally, really. You know, we've got our improvement journey. There was instructions from the Secretary of State that we had to get through. So the boundary review is quite a big deal for us, you know, the wards being mapped out a different way. But then really positive things, you know, the terrorist attack was awful, but we were so lucky in terms of what happened. But what I was able to see during that time was how our stakeholders and organisations worked together, and I was incredibly proud. So again, terrible moments, but actually I felt a lot of joy for who we are as a city.
We've got to talk commissioners and where we're up to. I don't really understand it and what is happening. So just explain to us, one, what is happening, what's next, and what your role is kind of linked with the commissioners.
Well, the commissioners have been brought in to oversee our improvement journey. It's a relationship that needs to be managed, just like everything else. So they'll have a view on things, we'll have a view on things, and we kind of negotiate to, you know, making the improvements that we need to make. They have got a remit to go where they want if they so choose. So the relationship that we have currently is that we make our decisions and we, you know, with their support. But yeah, it's a relationship that we don't want it to go any further than the current instructions.
Do you get on with the commissioners?
Of course, yeah, I have to get on with everybody.
I love that. There's some of the things that you've had to deal with. Maybe some people see them as negatives. You mentioned some of the highlights. There's been many. Just give us some of your top moments.
We punch way above our weight as a city, and whilst I might have known that as a Scouser, I really know it now. We're a global city. People all over the world love us. You know, nationally we're well thought of. G7, for example, you know, whilst we can, you know, have our issues, you know, the world leaders within our city and raved about it. They just absolutely love the time and experience here. You know, other things for me have been able to create fundamental change for us as a council. So social value policy I implemented, which is about ensuring we build our community organisations, our wealth within our communities, get the most out of our public spending power, that, you know, gives strength to our communities. That's transformational as a policy for the city. So that's that's been an incredibly high moment for me.
We've just come off the back of Liverpool Against Racism. This is a massive part of what you're all about, and it's great to see. This is really important for you, isn't it, to bring communities closer together through festivals like that, but you know, 24/7.
I wanted a cultural response to some of the things that were happening. You know, after George Floyd's murder, and you know, there were so many statements of intent and things that people wanted to do. So I asked Yao for an event, recognising some of the stuff that has happened in the past. When I was growing up, the Labour Party used to do something called Rock Against Racism, and there was Red Wedge, which was a cultural response of people working together against racism, white, Asian, you know, all coming together to do music festivals to promote anti-racism, and I wanted something like that. I wanted one event, and Yao typically and culture here at Liverpool City Council come up with a festival that, you know, is absolutely beyond my expectations, and everyone's involved in playing their role. And I think, yeah, it's absolutely wonderful that we can do something like that to say, you know, this is how this city reacts to racism, as we do against other forms of hate.
Let's talk about football. Whose side are you on, red or blue?
So I support City Liverpool Football Club, because you put red and blue together, you get purple, and they're a community business. I'm very passionate about that. So I was told I was an Evertonian when I was born. Yeah. My cousin played for Liverpool reserve goalie, so I've been to a lot of Liverpool games. And the truth is, and even though it's, you know, football is a religion in our city, I'm not really, you know, I'm not really into the football. So City Liverpool Football Club is my team.
That is a great answer for the Mayor of Liverpool. Let's talk about you going out and stuff and enjoying some of the things in this city. The food scene's massive. You mentioned Taste Liverpool. Have you got a favourite restaurant, a favourite bar?
Quarter Cafe is kind of, Tocky Beach is kind of somewhere I really like to hang out. So it's nothing better on a sunny afternoon sitting outside the Quarter. Very partial to Cafe Tobacco as well. Absolutely love it. Love that. I went there when I was 16 and I can still go back there. The Sky Bar in the Amelia Hotel. Absolutely love. Yeah, I love trying like new places in the city, and there's always new places popping up. But I think, you know, our ambition again with Taste Liverpool is to be known as, you know, a gastro city, and I think we're getting there.
Dates for the diary, by the way, 2nd of June until the 5th for that one. We've got more info on the website. Let's talk about the future, Joe, and what the next 12 months hold for you and for the city. What would you like to kind of get from Liverpool over the next 12 months?
So obviously, and you know, it's the bit that people don't want to talk about, but we need to make the improvements that we've promised the city that we have to do. We are on a journey, but you know, from potholes to litter to those things that we need to fix and need to address. Truth is, we're very under-resourced in terms of staff, and it's taken longer than expected because actually the whole of the public sector are finding it hard to recruit. So being able to get staff in to just deliver on those things that we want to do is going to be a focus. Now, it's not really, you know, political leaders don't really talk about making things better without being specific over the next year, but we have got to focus on improvement. Some of the things that have been really successful from this first year is the Triple Lock Manifesto, that is about equality and diversity, social impact and environmental impact. I recently went away to Mippen, where there was investors from all over the world who had a similar agenda, and so I'm going to look for the next 12 months about the influence that we have on other organisations that are adopting a similar approach, because actually that policy framework for the city sits really well with the current climate with investors, and that's something I'd like to focus on.
Just finally, Joanne, what's your message to the city of Liverpool? What would you like to say to people watching now?
Well, I just think we've been through so much lately, you know, in terms of COVID and everything else that we've been through as a city. I love that, you know, our industry around visitor economy, and we're #1 city in terms of places people want to visit, just to get out and enjoy our city over the next couple of months. Summer's here, the days are getting better, and just appreciate what we've got.
Well, listen, Mayor Joanne Anderson, thank you so much for chatting, and best of luck for the next 12 months more online. As always, watch that full interview back at guideliverpool.com.